Yes, Mataji, recording is started.
Yes, sir. Actually, today, our Prem Nandini Mataji is supposed to greet today, but she is not feeling well. Her right hand is paining so much. So, let us pray for her recovery 3 times. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hope Prem Nandini Mataji will feel better soon and she can join tomorrow. So today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Manidhar Prabhu from Reading, Pennsylvania, and Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam 8.17.4 and onwards. So Prabhuji, please take over the call if you are ready. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So let me, 1 second. I'm going to share my screen also. I prepared a small presentation also about the verses we have. 1 minute actually. Okay. Oh, actually, can you make me presenter? I just logged out. I should have made myself presenter.
Yeah, I will make Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Meanwhile, we can.
Yeah, you are the host, Prabhuji.
Okay, let me share. Okay, you can see my screen. Right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. So today we'll be covering the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 7, and verse number 4 through 17. So let's recite Mangalacharan to invoke the auspiciousness from our Guru Acharya and Lord Krishna. So Om Ajnanatimir, you can also recite together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shreupam Sagrajatam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Taptu Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Vacho Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll recite the prayers for the Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhakti Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki. Hare Krishna. So before we start our discussion for today, so I just wanted to show this, Srimad Bhagavatam um, is divided into 10 different topics here. As you can see, it is a Sarga, Visarga, Sthana, Poshanuti, Madhvantar, Ishanukanta, Nirodha, and Mukti. So these are the different topics are covered in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Like when we started, it was a first canto was a creation, like how the creation, how Brahma, as per the Lord's order, Brahmaji created the creation. Yes, and then sub creation. Sub creation means all these elements, material things, how they were created. And then planetary systems, like we have the 14 planetary system. Uh, then protection by the Lord, special favor given to the faithful. Some pastimes are there. Then creative impetus, and then changing of the manus, then signs of God description and their incarnation, then withdrawal, like winding up of the cosmic creation, and then liberation, and then Samam Bonam, basically Ashraya, Lord's Ashraya. All these topics are there. It's not basically specific to each cantos, but there could be like overlapping between the one canto having the multiple topics. Okay, so why do we want to read Srimad Bhagavatam? Is because we have Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadi, and in this Kali Yuga, basically, there were, when Maharaj Parikshit was asking the question to Sukdev Goswami, then he answered, one of them was like, in this age of Kali, like men always, always have a short lives, right? Because earlier, people used to live like 100 years, and in Dwapar Yuga, they were like 1,000 years, and earlier then, Treta and Satyuga, 10,000 years. So we are very short lives and quarrelsome. You see, so many wars are going on, and then people are lazy. Just want to relax, watch movie and reels and everything, and then they are misguided because they do not know what is the right source, where to go for the spiritual elevation, and they are unlucky, and above all, they are always disturbed, like they're always in stress, anxiety, so much is going on in this world. So if we read Shrimad Bhagavatam, we can go overcome all these problems. I mean, there's nothing we can do about the short lives, but basically we can pray to Lord Krishna for the help. This current chapter we are reading, it's a very beautiful pastimes about the Lord becoming the Aditi's son. So this chapter is basically divided into three different sections. We are on the first one. Lord Vishnu appears before Aditi, right? And why Lord appears before Aditi? Because as we read in the previous chapter, Aditi did a Payovrata, and then Lord got pleased, and then in this third verse or the fourth verse, Lord is appearing here. And after this 11 to 20 is Lord Vishnu reveals his plan to Aditi, right? Like he will tell, okay, what you need to do. Like demons are unconquerable now, and I shall give you the favor by becoming your son. So keep this confidential. Lord becomes her son, and then as a Lord becomes as a Vaman Dev, and then he basically come up with a plan to conquer Lord, come up with a plan to conquer all the Daityas and Bali also, Bali Maharaj. Then the last section is Lord Vishnu enters Aditi's womb, and Brahma offer the prayers. Basically, how Lord appears, because in Bhagavad Gita we have seen Lord's Janam is not like, the human being takes the birth basically. Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse like Janam Karam Che Me Divyam. So all the activities of the Lord are transcendental. They are not activities as a we do, like, as a human. So, so basically, this section 21 through 28 does cover this, like, how Lord enters basically. And similar thing was explained when Lord Himself appeared in the womb of Devaki, Mother Devaki. Okay, so this is the fourth verse. But before that, we need to understand. Um, so, so Aditi just completed the Payovrata, right? And she did the Payovrata ceremony, and this sacrifice of the Payovrata, involving milk. Payo means milk. So all these things were described in the previous chapter. Now, who is Aditi? She is the mother of the demigods. Okay. One thing we have to understand is um, there is a genealogy of Kashyap Muni. Okay. So who is Kashyap Muni? Kashyap Muni is the grandson of, he is the son of Marichi and grandson of Lord Brahma, right? And Kashyap Muni is he is renowned for what? He is renowned for the 13 wives. So he married to the 13 daughters of Daksha Prajapati. There were 13 daughters. Now, from the 13 daughters, the Adityas, the demigods, the Daityas, the demons, Danavas, then Nagas and Garudas, all these living entity, they came from the 13 daughters. Now, we will mainly focus on Diti and Aditi. So, Aditi is like, from her, all the demigods came basically, or not all of them, some of them, like Indra, Vivaswan. Vivaswan is like Surya, Aditya. Then Varuna, then Mitra, then Aryaman, Bhaga, all these demigods, and then Vaman avatar, basically, Lord Himself also came. So all these, like, demigods came from Aditi. Then Diti, from Diti, the Daityas came, the Asuras came. Who were those? Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh, and there were like 49 Marut. There is a nice pastime of Marutgan. So all these Marutgan, they also came. They were from Diti. So there was a, like, Marutgan. I think initially there were seven, but when Lord Indra he got scared that these Marutgan are going to kill me. So they basically, Indra wanted to kill those Marutgan in the womb of Diti. So as soon as he tried that, those Marutgan multiplied into 49. So that's how they are like 49 Marutgans. So we will discuss those later, like, when the pastime comes. So now the Kashyap Muni, if we see, he is very elevated Muni. If you reverse the name Kashyap, if you reverse it, that is a Pashyak. Pashyak means like, Dekhna, like to see someone. So he used to see everything connected to the Lord in all the situation, in all the living entity. So he was such a elevated soul, right? So that was some small description about the Ditis and Aditis. But then, so Aditi, basically, she's the wife of Kashyap Muni. And Diti was also the wife of Kashyap Muni. Now, how come the Diti had the demons and asuras from her, and Aditi had the demigods? So the reason was, Bhagavatam says, Diti conceived at the wrong time in the wrong manner. And therefore, Diti bore Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh, all these demons in her womb. And they are demonic in nature. So her sons and their followers, they were called as Daityas. Okay, and they were like demonic in the nature. Now, whereas the son of the Aditis, they are Adityas, as I said, so they are divine. They are the divine ones. So both of the sisters bearing the children who are exactly the opposite in the qualities. One being the divine nature, one being the like demonic. Now, you may say that Diti and Aditi both were the daughters of Daksha. So how come like there is no fault of Diti? Basically, Diti was not a demon by nature, but because of the conceiving of the at the wrong time in the wrong way, therefore the product was like that. Okay, so it is very important as a teaching to have the ceremonies, proper ceremonies done, and proper consciousness at the time of conception to create the generation for like progeny. So, but in case of Aditi, she has given birth to the demigods, but somehow based on the movements of the time and nakshatra and everything, and the three modes of material nature and her destiny also, her sons, demigods, were going through the hard times. And so she wanted a Supreme Lord to intervene. That's why she did the Payovrata, so that she can get the mercy of the Lord. And basically, this was a material thing. You can say that Aditi was doing the Payovrata and to have the Lord as her son, and not to enlighten but to kill the demons and protect their other sons. But anyway, devotees reach to Lord for anything they need, material things, but Lord Krishna will give them the bhakti. So Aditi, she was not convinced that she was very attached to that material things, and she performed that Payovrata ceremony. Um, and then Supreme Lord personally appeared before her, right? And she did that vrata for 12 days, and these 12 days are considered not the human 12 days. They were considered as um, the 12 days of the demigods. So they're very long period. Now, coming back to this verse, we can read that Sanskrit version. तस्याः प्रादुर्भूतात् भगवानादिपुरुषः पीतवासाश्च पीतवासाश्चतुर्बाहुः शङ्खचक्रगदाधरः. So it's a beautiful explanation is given here about the Lord. Now, as I said, like Lord appears in this verse. So the translation is, "My dear king, the original supreme personality of Godhead, dressed in yellow garments and bearing a conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in his four hands, then appeared before Aditi." So it says Lord Vishnu himself appeared in four-handed form. And when Lord appears, basically, um, as I said in Bhagavad Gita, Janm karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata. The translation of this verse is, one who knows, let me go back to this verse. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. So Lord Krishna was saying to Arjuna. Now, we can see Lord appeared uh, by the prayers of Aditi, and Lord appeared by the prayers of Devaki also. So all these are connected actually. So there is a devotees Prashni Garbha. Sorry, actually, Lord's name is Prashni Garbha. Lord appeared from Sutapa and Prishni. So they did some austerity, some tapasya, and Lord said, I will appear 3 times, like, like from your womb. So one of them is Prashni Garbha. Okay, the Lord appears like, from Sutapa and Prishni. Okay, and then Lord appears as a, actually it should not be Varadev, it should be Vaman Dev, sorry. So Lord appeared as a Vaman Dev from Aditi and Kashyap. And the third one is Krishna himself came from Devaki and Vasudev. Right? So Lord appeared as a Prashnigarbha in Treta Yuga. And Vaman Dev also, like, he appeared in the Treta Yuga as well, versus Krishna himself appeared in the Dwapar Yuga. Right? As I said, Prashni and Sutapa, they, like, they had done some austerity, they were doing some devotional activities, and based on that, Lord appeared. Lord basically promised them that I will appear from you, right? So as we know, like, but in this age, in the Kali Yuga, um, Lord appeared as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Why Lord appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To give us the love of Godhead directly. And there were like several internal reasons, external reasons of appearing the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give us a Krishna Prema. Because Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita to surrender to me, but he did not say like how. But then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said like how to surrender. And that is through the Sankirtan movement, through the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. So this is about some little description about how the Lord appeared multiple times. Now, going back to this verse, you can see the meaning of that is Pradhurbhat, which means appeared, and Tat, my dear king. Um, One thing we have to know from Srimad Bhagavatam, sometime there is a discussion going on, Maitreya Vidur, and sometimes there is a king, Parikshit Maharaj Sukdev. So we should know, like, who is, when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we should know, like, who is speaking when, and what is the reference here. So in this case, when it says, my dear king, so Sukdev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, right? So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 3 instances Bhagavatam is going on basically. What are those? As I said, Sukdev Goswami is describing this knowledge of Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Then the other one is um, the conversation between Maitreya and Vidur. Like when Vidur, when Mahabharata and everything was done, he was in the forest and he met Maitreya Muni. Actually, first he met the um, Lord's associate, I forgot the name, and then he recommended to go to Maitreya Muni. He will give you all the pastimes. He will give you all the spiritual knowledge. So that's where all these question and answers have been going on between them. Okay. So that was some description about it, like what are the conversation going on in Bhagavatam. Now in this verse, Lord is like a four-handed form, Chaturbhuja. Okay, and Lord is wearing the Pita Vastra, like yellow clothes, and Lord um, holds the conch shell, as it mentioned here, the disc, the club, and the lotus in his forehand. One thing to understand, we have covered in the previous cantos. I will show you a picture. You will see like there are different forms here: Sankarshana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So here, these are all forms of the Lord. You will see Lord is having in one hand the club, and the other one it shows a chakra here. And so they are like rotating basically. Rotating means like Lord has a shank in his hand in one instance, and the other one he has a like club in his hand. So we all covered it. So these are like if you see, these are like different permutations and combinations, and Lord is named differently. And there are so many combinations, and then Lord is given the different name. Lord Vishnu is given the different name. So I just want to bring that out. So if you can calculate, it will become a huge number also, right? Then coming back to the verse, it says, the word says Supreme Adi Purusha, the original person. Okay. The Adi Purusha, so it's very important to understand why the Lord is called Adi Purusha. And sometimes we hear Virat Purusha, like Lord has a Virat Roop. And then sometimes Prabhupada has given like, Mahapurusha. There is a Puran Purusha also. There is a Mukta Purusha also. And then there is a Tat Purusha, and all these Prabhupada ji has given in his purports. Right? And when we recite the Brahma Samhita, there is a beautiful verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidanand Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karanam Karanam. So it says, why Krishna is Adi Purusha? The meaning of that verse is, Krishna, who is known as the Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. And he is a eternal, blissful spiritual body. And he is the origin of all. He is no other origin. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. And then we recite Govinda Madi Purusham Tam Ham Bhajami, which means I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. So, what are the reasons like Lord is known as Adi Purusha? One, as I said, source of all creation. Like Krishna is the supreme cause of all causes. Like he first expanded as Mahavishnu, and then he is the root of everything. And then he is the source of all the Purusha avatars. Like, when Vishnu expands into Karanodakshai, Garbhodakshai, and Shirodakshai Vishnu to manage this material creation. So these are all expansions of Krishna. And this is all given in Brahma Samhita. Another reason why Lord is Adi Purusha, he is eternal youth. So you might be saying, okay, Lord is like, millions of billions of year old. But despite being oldest, Krishna is always described as a young man of like 16-year-old and full of energy and beauty. You may have never seen a picture of Krishna who is like old and having beard and or something looking like an old person. So Krishna is always young, and he is the supreme enjoyer. And the other reason is he is the root of the tree. Like just as a tree is maintained by its root, so Krishna maintains everything. Everything emanates from him. That's given in the scriptures about Lord Krishna. Now, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen Purusha word appears many times. Like when Kunti Marani begins her prayer in Srimad Bhagavatam, there also she has like mentioned Purusha in her prayers. When we were reading the Gajendra Moksha, in that stuti the Gajendra did to Lord Vishnu, he also recited Purushaya Adi Bijaya. So there also the Purusha come. Dhruv Maharaj, when he was doing the tapasya in the forest in Madhuban, um, he also said, Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. So Prahlad Maharaj also, he addressed Bhagwan as a Narsimhadev as a what? Purushaya Mahatmane. So you see, like Purusha word is used like multiple times throughout. And in Vedas also, like there are so many explanations given about this. Now, Adi Purusha also, like, the Supreme Lord, he is basically beyond sins, and he burns all our sins of all the living entities, provided when we surrender to the Lord. And he is our supreme protector. And he makes all the sacrifices and all the spiritual practices complete. That's all given in Purushukta also, like when devotees recite. And then when Prabhupada says Mahapurusha, so that is also being referred to Lord Krishna. He is a supreme enjoyer. So Krishna is the enjoyer and we are enjoyed as per Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is a Mahapurusha. And then Mukta Purusha. Purusha means the one who is not affected by material incompetency, right? But whereas the human being, we are like, we make mistakes, we are illusion, our senses are limited, they are imperfect. So Lord is called as a Mukta Purusha also. The Lord is considered as a Purana Purusha. So Purana means like Purana, they are very old actually. Purana means very old. So they consider the Purana Purusha also. Then there is a Tat Purusha. Tat Purusha is basically referred to as a preacher of Krishna consciousness. Like for example, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, right? Then so all these definitions were given about the Purusha. And then there is a Virat Purusha also. So Virat Purusha is basically it's a incarnation of the Lord. Like when Lord want to clear the illusion of someone like Arjuna, then Lord appeared in his Virat Rupa also. So that Rup also came from Lord himself. So you can understand one thing, this conception of the Virat Rup or the universal form of the Lord, as we see in the picture, it's basically it as appearing in the material world. Lord takes an incarnation. It is an imaginary form, basically. It is it is to enable the less intelligent and the neophytes so that they know, they get the idea of the Lord having a form, right? And Lord has the form, but some people think the Lord has no form and he's just all Jyoti. And what the Lord is all capable of. Like everything comes from him and everything goes into him, basically. So this, I want to just describe about the Adi Purusha. That word was given in this verse, basically. Now, the next verse, we can go to that. Text 5. Tam nitra gocharam vikshya sahasotthaya sadaram nanam bhuvi kayena dandvat priti vihvla. So the translation of this verse is, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead became visible to Aditi's eyes, Aditi was so overwhelmed by transcendental bliss that she at once stood up and then fell to the ground like a rod to offer the Lord her respectful obeisances. So one very important thing is here, like, as a devotee, like when we go to the temple, when, the curtain opens and then we immediately like bow down like a rod to give our obeisances to the Lord. So Prabhupada says it's a very, offering the obeisances is very important as soon as we enter the temple. Like when we enter the temple, like one should first pay their obeisances, right? As per the Prabhus and Matajis, and recite their like prayers we do, like Vancha Kalpataru Vishya. So that prayer we do like to offer our respectful obeisances on all Vaishnavas, like devotees of the Lord. So that's what we are supposed to do as a devotee. We basically called as a Ashtanga Pranam, basically. It's coming from Hari Bhakti Vilas, like, all these devotee activities, etiquettes, basically, how the devotee should behave. So coming back to this verse, like, so this is the effect of seeing the Lord, actually. Like, Sukadeva Goswami says, like, Aditi, like, she stood and then with the folded hands and unable to offer the prayer to the Lord, and then basically she fell and then basically to the ground to pay her obeisances. Why? Because she was able to see the Lord like face to face. Okay, and then she got trembled and she got like, ecstasy, and then that is all the bhavas are given here. Uh, so these are the transcendental effects of a devotee of the Lord, seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And she was so overwhelmed with this transcendental ecstasy, she could not even offer the prayers. And she just stood there and then numbed and then basically did her obeisances. Now, there is a pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Mukunda Datta. Um, so, in this pastime, Krishna, when like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the Krishna himself, but he came in the form of a devotee. Um, just not for relishing the certain experiences, but in the form of a devotee to taste the love of Godhead, basically. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, basically, he did not showed his like I would say his transcendental form to anyone, because he came as a devotee of the Lord, right? Whenever somebody used to say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's like, Lord's incarnation, Lord himself, and then Mahaprabhu will close his ears and he will say Vishnu, Vishnu, like, don't commit such an offense. It's a big offense to call a jiva as a supreme Lord, right? So we should never consider any regular human being, like, we see in today's world, as a supreme Lord, like as people shows. So there were like a couple of occasions, and one such occasion is when Mahaprabhu, like, for 21 hours he continuously he assumed his form, and he was in the mood of being the supreme Lord. Okay, so in that period, Lord was giving the benedictions to all the devotees, all the associates. Like somebody was saying, okay, like, some material things they were asking. Some people were asking the spiritual things, like, okay, please make him the devotee of all these things. So, so Mahaprabhu was calling all his devotees, like all the associates, one by one, but he did not call the Mukundat. Okay. Then Srivas Thakur also noticed. He said, like, he approached the Mahaprabhu and he said, why is that you have not called the Mukunda's name? Then Mahaprabhu said, he is such a rascal that I will never call his name. And because Mukunda is assaulting me with the sticks, he's beating me with the sticks. He's such a big offender. So you don't know him. So Srivasa Thakur and the other devotees, they felt very, like, they felt in this way, and they could not understand, like, how is it happening? Like, how the Mukundat is beating the Lord with the sticks. So it's a mysterious Leela of the Lord, basically. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu basically Srivas Thakur asks Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why is he, like, Mukunda is such a nice devotee and he does not offend anyone, but why do you consider such a things? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you don't know, like, he goes to impersonalist to discuss the yoga, and he goes and then he will say yes, yes, yes to their theory also. Then he goes to the other group, and then he goes to the Vaishnava also, and then he will say yes, yes. So um, he's basically going everywhere, and he's going to everyone, and he's basically teaching he's against the principle of the pure devotion service. So, so he denies the Lord's personality. Somewhere he says the Lord has a form, somewhere he says Lord doesn't have form. So, that's why Lord say, he denies my personality. So that's like when he's denying my personality, it's like beating me with a stick. So he does this sometime, and then basically that's why Lord is saying, and when he comes in front of me, he is showing as a humble devotee. So Lord Mahaprabhu, he wanted to teach a lesson. So they should not do these things. Basically, um, whenever somebody goes in a company like in a different associate with the different people, um, so one should be very firm. One should be very firm, faithful, and what Prabhupada has taught us. So, so now that later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the mercy to Mukunda, but then Mukunda was asking a question like, when can I have the Lord's darshan basically? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving the darshan to everyone, uh, but then Mukunda was asking it. Then Lord said, "You will not get the darshan of me for another 10 million births." So Mukunda was very happy. He was dancing. And then others were asking him, like, why are you happy? Like, Lord said, like, 10 million years you will not see me, see my, transcendental form. But then he was still happy. The reason why he was happy, he said, um, I'm very fortunate. Even if it is 10 million, like, I will still see the Lord. Like that's how the basically the ecstasy Mukunda Dutt was in. There was some other pastime. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also described when from his Krishna Leela. Um, there was a pastime of Idhobi actually when Lord Krishna went to Mathura, and he wanted some clothes actually, some nice clothes that washerman was having. I think those are Kansa's clothes or something. And then Balram ji, he explained who is he, he's a Krishna and everything. But still, Lord, he offended Lord, he insulted Lord, making fun of the Lord Krishna. And then basically at the end, the Lord cut his head. Um, Basically, it is said that why Krishna killed a washerman. I read somewhere that he's like, in the Ramayana, there was a Arya Samant basically. When Sita ji was abducted by Ravana, this Arya Samant was spreading this news everywhere and all of this. So Lord was not pleased. And that's why Lord wanted to just give him some punishment. Um, in this instance of the washerman, basically. Then, so the teaching here is for us, um, we should not, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, we should not try to prematurely see the Lord. Why? Like, if we prematurely see the Lord, and if the Lord came in front of us, and we will say that, okay, I don't think he's the God actually. For example, Duryodhan, okay, he basically did not consider Lord Krishna as a Bhagwan. He was just thinking he insulted Lord in the courtroom also. Even though Lord showed the universal form when he was killing the Shishupal. So Duryodhana always thought Krishna has the mystic power and he's just a magician and he just shows some magic and he never considered him as a lord. So Duryodhana was not a devotee. So So therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that we should not be eager to see Krishna, but we should be eager to serve Krishna. So nicely that Lord will be eager to see you. So that will be our qualification, our humble, eager, service attitude that will make Krishna take this notice that this devotee is serving very nicely, and then Lord will reveal his form, right? Um, so that's very good teaching for us. Even I will give you an example of Dhruv Maharaj. When Dhruva was doing the tapasya, Dhruv Maharaj saw the Lord, and he was only the 5-year-old actually. He was meditating on the Lord in his heart, basically, by the instructions of Narad Muni. So after 6 months, all of a sudden, he saw the Lord in his heart, and then Lord appeared as a Prashnigarbha in front of him. Then Dhruva Maharaj, he opened his eyes, and then he saw the Lord exactly as he was seeing him within the heart, right? So because within the heart we have the Lord, so as a super soul, as a Paramatma, so he saw the same form outside, identical form. So he was a bit confused that he was looking inside. Now he was seeing the Lord outside as well. But when he saw the Lord, he became very overwhelmed with the ecstasy and all this vikar, all this bhava he had. So same thing Sukhdev Goswami is saying here, Aditi is also experiencing now. So she flooded with the tears, and then she was stunned with ecstasy, and then she realized, and when she saw the Lord, and then basically she had all this bhava, you know. Then that's a explanation of this verse. We can go to the next one. The next verse, Sottaya Badhanjalir Tiditum Stita Notseha Anand Jalakulakshena Babhuvatushnim Pulaka Kritis Tadarshana Yutsava Gatrave Putah. Aditi stood silently with folded hands, unable to offer prayers to the Lord. Because of transcendental bliss, tears filled her eyes, and the hairs on her body stood on end. Because she could see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, she felt ecstasy and her body trembled. So basically, as we discussed already, these were all the features, all these symptoms that Aditi was having when when Lord appeared in front of her. So we basically, when we take the darshan of the Lord, we just basically um, appreciate the Lord's beauty. Okay, next verse we can go. Next is the 7th verse, and this is the last verse we can take. Prityasnaner Prityasnair Gadya Gira Harim Tushtaiva Sadev Devya Aditi Kururdvaha Udikshvati Sa Pibati Chakshusha Ramapatim Yagyapatim Jagatpatim. Translation: O Maharaj Parikshit, the demigoddess Aditi then began offering her prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a faltering voice with great love. She appeared as though drinking through her eyes the Supreme Lord, who is the husband of Goddess of Fortune, the enjoyer of all sacrificial ceremonies, and the master and lord of the entire universe. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. After observing the Payovrata, Aditi was certain that the Lord had appeared before her as a Ramapati, the husband of all good fortune, just to offer her sons all opulences. She had performed the yagna of Payovrata under the direction of her husband Kashyap, and therefore she thought the Lord as a Yagnapati. She was completely satisfied to see the Master and the Lord of the entire universe come before her to fulfill her desire. So you can see here, like, Aditi is offering, she began offering the prayers to the Lord in a very faltering voice with a great love. And she appeared to drink um, with her eyes the Lord. And who is the Lord? Lord is depicted here as husband of Ramapati. Who is Ramapati? Lakshmi. So he's a husband of Lakshmi. So that Lord offers all her sons all opulences. That's why she's like this is mentioned as a Ramapati. Then this is mentioned here Yagnapati also. Yagnapati means the enjoyer of sacrifices. So she performed that yagna of Payavrata. So Lord is the enjoyer of those sacrifices. Then Lord is also a Jagatpati, master of the universe. So why? Because he delivered the world. So Aditi was like, when Lord appeared before her, she was very fully assured that all this troublesome condition created for her, like, by the demons, that would now end because the Lord has appeared. And now she is continuing to give the prayers now. As Sukdev Goswami is saying here. So in this verse, we can see um, she all these symptoms are given. She was unable to speak, um, like, and then her voice was faltering. Basically, there's one important thing is udikshati sa pibativ chakshusha. So this means pibativa means appeared as if she was drinking, and udvikshati when while staring the beautiful form of the Lord. Chakshusha through the eyes. So as Aditi was gazing the Lord, she was at as if, like, she were like drinking through her eyes the beautiful form of the Lord. Like, we go to the temple and we, as soon as the curtain opens, we see the Lord's form. We should not just see the Lord form, like, in the face. We should start from the lotus feet. From our acharyas, we should start with the lotus feet of the Lord, and then we go upward. We see his legs, like, his waist, his arms, his chest, and then slowly move to the face and forehead, basically. So then we can just appreciate the beauty of the Lord, and we can remember, like, sometimes devotees goes and they don't even know, they don't even remember what color the clothes, the Lord was wearing, basically. We should stand in front of the Lord in our temple and appreciate the beauty of that. There was one Srimad Bhagavatam verse is also given. Um, Actually, this is all the Virat Rupa. I was talking about the Virat Rupa of the Lord. As I was saying, it is just a Virat Rupa of the Lord is not a real. It's a imaginary form. As you can see, Virat Rupa has a different definitions. Like, you can see Virat Rupa of the Lord, like Patal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Talatal, and all these Satyaloka is there. And what are these considered as? Patal is the feet of the Lord. This is the lowest planet. Then Rasatal is the heels and the toes. Then Mahatal is the ankles. Talatal is the shanks. Like that. So all these symbolic form is given. It is just to teach the devotees, basically. And then in the next slide, there is another form of the Virat Roop where Lord Lord's arms, basically. It's a Indra. All the demigods are the in Lord's arm, basically. Lord's ears are the Dikpal, that they witness. Then nostrils are the Ashwini Kumar, mouth is the fire, then eye pits, then eyeball, sun, and then eyelids are the day and nights. Uh, so this all universal Virat Roop of the form is considered, like, it's a symbolic form to teach the devotee, like, everything is within the Lord. And how is it? In this this attributes meaning to this, and it represents this form. And then there is another attribute of the Virat Rupa of the form is basically cerebral passage, like, the Vedic hymns, the jaws of the teeth, like, those are the Yamaraj. Then smile is the illusory energy, like Mohini Murti, like, Lord and Shiva's smiling and attracted all the devatas. Upper lips, then chin and everything, all these things, their waist is considered a ocean, bones are the hills and mountains. So these are the attributes of the different, uh, you know, parts of the limbs of the Lord. They're considered with a different symbolic form as it is shown here. So it's a imaginary form, but it's an incarnation of the Lord basically for the neophyte devotees, just to show them. This is another form of the Lord. It says the veins. Veins of the Lord is of the Virat Rupa is considered as a river. Then the hairs are the trees. The breath is the air. Movements are the passing ages. Then, right, like when we say Lord Vishnu has taken the movement, that is like, 6 months is passed or something, that is considered the ages. Then activities, hair on the head is cloud. Then dress, termination of the days of nights, intelligence of the Lord. So all these are given here. Another attribute of the Lord. Then this is another one. You might have heard the face of the Lord is a Brahmanas. The arms are the Kshatriyas. Then thighs are the Vaishyas and the feet are the Shudras. Many times you may have here. So this is another form of the Lord when people say these Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras, like how they are within the Lord. These are the ways. Then these are another one, like, the nails and senses and everything. What are the symbolic form of the Lord in that? So, so this was I wanted to just describe. Then this seventh verse related to that, um, there is a Srimad Bhagavatam verse is also given 9.24.65. It's a beautiful verse. We don't have time. You can just basically read it. It's talking about the Makar Kundala Charu Karna, Bharjat Kapola Subhagam Suvilasa Hansam. Basically, this verse also talks about how the Lord is beautiful. Um, and then same way the Aditi was drinking the nectar of the Lord's beautiful form. Um, as the residents of the Mathura or the Vrindavan, they were drinking with their eyes. Like when Lord Krishna was going to Mathura, when Lord was going to the forest, basically, all the gopis will come out, and from the roof also, they will drink the nectarium form of the Lord from, like, with their eyes, because they were not satisfied and they want to see the Lord more and more. So there is a comparison here. We, like, let's say somebody gives you the gulab jamun, we just eat one, two, or three or four maximum, and after that we are satiated. We are done. We cannot eat more. But as a devotee, when we chant every day, we are not satisfied. Yeah, I did the chanting yesterday. I don't have to do it basically for another month. But the more we chant, we want to chant more, basically, um, to experience the Lord, basically. So same way, the the resident of the Mathura and the Vrindavan, basically, they were seeing the Lord, basically, and the more they see the Lord, they basically, their happiness grows, and they were never satisfied. There was one instance where gopis also said they were cursing Brahma. Why they were cursing Brahma? Like, Brahma created these eyelids. So when somebody has to blink, there is a split second you don't see something, right? So they were cursing Brahma that you have created these eyelids. We cannot see the Krishna for the fraction of the second during that time. So they said, like, Brahma has not done the good job of creation. So like why did he created this these eyelids? So because eyes are meant to see Krishna, his form, and basically, um, so that's a duty of the eyes. Basically, that's what gopis were also, they wanted to say that. Um, so I will just stand here, and at the end I will just say, like, so the perfection of our life will be also when we we also start relishing the beauty of the Krishna. Uh, and then in this way we will never, we will never forget. We will forget the beauty of this world basically, and we will forget everything else in this world. So it's our duty to follow the footsteps of these great devotees. Okay, so Prabhupada ji has given us, um, has opened this whole universe basically of ultimate beauty for us, and now it's for us basically to enter in this universe and chant more and more, and you know appreciate the Lord's beauty, and you know associate with the devotees here. So I think I will stop here. There were not many purports here, so but these were all describing about the Lord's appearance, Lord's as a Vishnu, and then why Lord appeared, like as a Adi Purusha, who is Adi Purusha and who is a Virat Rupa, and what Lord wears, and describing about the beauty of the Lord, and as a devotee, what are our etiquettes, we should pay our obeisances to the Lord. So all this we describe. Hope it will be helpful with our daily sadhana. So I will end here, and I have to go to office also. So if you have any question and comments, we can discuss quickly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Prabhuji, it was really wonderful class with the very impressive presentation that touched many points. It made me to just think like, what is the difference between Prabhupada said Mahapurusha, right, Prabhuji, and Brahma Samhita says Govindam Adi Purusham. So, what is the difference between Adi Purusham and Mahapurusha?
Adi Purusha and Mahapurusha. So
Why
as
Prabhupada said basically, yeah, Mahapurush.
um, so Prabhupada has given. I heard like there was a lecture Prabhupada has given on the Canto 1, verse chapter 10 and verse 20 about the, is it that one? Basically, Prabhupada has said, Adi Purusha is the one, like he's the origin of everything, right? And everything emanates from the Lord. Okay. Then Mahapurusha means Purusha means the enjoyer, and Mahapurusha means the supreme enjoyer. That's the meaning of that, which means the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. So Prabhupada also said, one who deserve to approach the Lord Krishna is called a Mahapurusha. So anyone who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam attentively, um, they will become become the devotee of the Lord, and Lord as a Mahapurusha is able to give the liberation to them. So in case of Parikshit Maharaj was hearing the Bhagavatam. So in short, Prabhu, to like your answer to that, Mahapurusha means the supreme enjoyer. That is also referring to the Lord, basically. Um, this is what I can understand. Um,
Yeah, it's the supreme. Yeah,
it is
that's
the
the word
supreme.
what Prabhupada mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it probably. And one more small incident I would like to share.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada never encouraged pastimes of Mirabai, but
Yes.
everyone must be knowing that. But I would just like to brief it little in a short, briefly. When Mirabai, we all know so many pastimes of Mirabai. She, at the end, like she then decides I should go to Vrindavana. Okay, so she goes to Vrindavana. Like after her lot of struggle, she reaches there, finding like she want to see where is Krishna and where can I meet him. And then when she comes to the temple, Vrindavan temple, then there is one of the Goswamis, I think it must be Sanatan Goswami who was in the temple, and he did not allow Mirabai into the temple, saying that you are not a Purusha, you are a female, you should not enter the temple. Because earlier days, only the Purushas were doing the pujas in the temple, but now Prabhupada made it very, flexible for even Matajis who can do the pujas. But then Mirabai, he highlights and she enlightens Sanatana Goswami, saying that, what is the meaning of Purusha? So then Sanatana Goswami mentions about Adi Purusha and everything, but then she said, there is one thing you are missing, uh, that Krishna is the only Purusha, Adi Purusham,
Yes.
and he is the only Purusha on this whole planet, in the whole universe. Rest of all other species are female. When she says this, then why? So she said, "You are also female. Why you are in the temple?" So, like it indirectly clicks Sanatan Goswami, and he allows Mirabai to enter the temple, and then by doing kirtan bhajan, she goes into the altar and she disappears. So that was her last pastime. So I just wanted to highlight this. If anyone, like maybe everyone knows this, but still, I wanted. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, that was a wonderful pastime. Actually, I was reading about there is a book I have, like a very small one, how Krishna came into their lives. So
Hmm.
that explains the Mirabai's pastime also in past. So I read out about it. As you said, like Krishna is the only Purush.
Yeah. Sanatan Goswami, one of the six
Mm,
Goswamis, so
mm,
he was in the temple and he just restricts her, not to come into the temple. But then she gives this knowledge to him, so then he immediately thinks that she is not normal person, so,
right,
and then he said, because he proves that you are also female, even though you are in the birth of Purush, like man,
right.
so that way, like she
Mm,
ends her pastime. And in the similar way, I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also ended his pastime by going into the altar and disappearing. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Very rare
Prabhuji.
incidences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should read all these Mahapurusha. I mean these devotees of the Lord, basically. How they got elevated and their
Yes.
pastimes.
Yeah.
So this is very wonderful to read
Yeah.
them. There is a what is it called as a there's a book actually I saw. It explains about all the devotees of the Lord. You know. Mm.
So
And
which
you
book from you?
Bhaktamal actually. Yes.
Bhakta Mahal.
Bhaktamal has like in many version of that, many volumes, three or four. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a very short version of that also in English actually. It's like devotee in ISKCON actually he translated in a very condensed form. He talks about all our Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas and outside as well. Just to understand how Krishna came in their life and how they got the mercy of the Lord. It's a beautiful book. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
Yes,
granth
Prabhuji.
actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bhaktamal.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for a
Thank you,
wonderful class
Prabhuji.
with the
Yeah.
presentation that makes more understanding.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I actually do the Bhakti Vaibhav course by His Grace Balimardan Prabhu. Uh, he's from California, from the ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So
Mhm.
he conducts that, and there. we create some presentations basically. Then I thought, okay, I will create a
Oh,
presentation
okay.
also. Yeah.
Yeah. That
So
that makes you to revise also. Yeah.
otherwise also basically, and
Yeah.
in our local Bhakti Vriksha also, like we have Prabhuji who gives the classes, and
Hmm.
he also like present everything. So devotees have the focus actually when while we are talking. Otherwise, most of the things goes above our head sometime, you know. So anyway.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Chaitanya Sharan Prabhu's class was there recently.
Mhm.
So his way of presentation is also very, very amazing. It's like it's kind of like he's teaching maths. Mathematically,
Exactly.
he's teaching you, or
Mhm.
arithmetically, he's teaching you the shastras. So it is very wonderful.
His website is Gita Daily and a spiritual scientist. He contributes to those websites very frequently. And Prabhuji, many devotees go to those sites and to understand the meaning of many verses also. And he even contributed a lot in Juhu Chopadi temple and like to,
Yes,
and there is a course like Bhakti Shastri.
yes.
He created a Prabhuji so many hundreds of videos explaining each and every verses of Bhagavad Gita and like
Mm.
nectar of devotion and nectar of instruction as well. He's very scholar, very
Yes.
intelligent. Yes.
Yes.
So I follow him like a lot, like hearing his videos.
Yes. Yeah, we were fortunate to have his class. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank
That's
you.
what we say, like Prabhu, like sadhu sangha, sarv shastra gai, love matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. So we
Siddhi
had a
Hoy, yeah.
Prabhu's session for like half an hour or 35 minutes. That was a lot actually.
Yes,
You know?
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. If
Hare
anyone
Krishna.
has any question, they can ask.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this very, very, I must say, wonderful class with so many small points on bhakti and other areas as well. I'm not sure. I have a follow-up question to Nitin Prabhuji. Is that only the Lord is the Purusha? I'm sorry, I'm not aware of this. If you may want to explain a little bit. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, like he's the supreme Purusha. He like he's the enjoyer, and we are enjoyed. Um, and in Bhagavad Gita, I don't recall the verse actually, the one that has. So he's the enjoyer, and we are the Prakriti basically. So that's why he's called as a supreme enjoyer. Purusha means like as I said, bhokta in Hindi. And while this Prakriti is the material energy that is being enjoyed. So we are made of these material elements, like um, five gross and like subtle elements, basically three of them. So we are made of those. So we are part of the material energy, and Krishna is only the true Purusha, and we are all the living beings. So we are meant to serve him basically. Whereas like we serve like in our family and all this, but we are meant to serve the Lord. So in that way, he is described as he is the only Purusha.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm.
Very clear.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, you spoke about the Virat Roop, and you said it's imaginary, and but also, this world is not imaginary, right? It is manifested and
Right.
unmanifest.
Yes.
So this Virat Roop is the sum total of all the material energy of the Lord as well, right? So it
Mhm.
is. So is it really imaginary or is it temporary?
Prabhu, like imaginary means like it is just to teach the neophyte devotees. Prabhupada ji has used this word as imaginary. It is eternal basically, but it is one incarnation of the Lord basically, just to show my opulences, like all my attribute, just to teach us, like, how the different parts of the body represent what. So that's what it means when we say Virat Rupa has this, and even when we say Bhagavatam has like 10 cantos, and the first canto is the lotus feet of the Lord. So these are all, like, Bhagavatam is Sakshat Brahm, like Bhagwan, but these are all the forms for us to teach us. So that's why it is called as imaginary, but it doesn't means like they are false. They exist eternally. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Prabhuji, I have to leave. So I think we can.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can
Hare Krishna,
wind up.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful class. And the class was very nice and the presentation was so nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, which was the last verse you completed today?
I did Mataji till 7.
7, okay.
Yeah, they were all connected. So 8 and 9 are the one they are connected.
So tomorrow will be 8 and 9. Okay.
8, 9, 10, basically they are the prayers of the Aditi.
Acha.
Yes.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Let's pay wishes to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarusya कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमः ठाकुर की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। हर His Grace Manidhar Prabhu Das ki
All
jai.
devotees ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Bol.
Hare
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari